Hello, this is Ametamartha with the full moon reading May 16th. This energy will last us until the last quarter moon on the 22nd. There was a total lunar eclipse last night, and that should offer us some influence. Otherwise, I ask for clear guided messages for me to channel for the collective regarding what is to come this following week. Okay. Okay. So where we once felt as though we were unable to navigate and shift through energies for the greater or the betterment of our experience here, with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, the Eight of Wands in reverse, and also the Chariot in reverse, see, we were having a struggle getting past limiting beliefs that made us feel as though we did not have that opportunity to see what we had before us as an opportunity. And then with these two movement cards also coming up in reverse, it's just a symbol of that concept that being able to shift through these things was a more challenging feat. But what we are seeing now is that we are actually the beneficiary of the experience that we have and all of the blessings that the universe does have to offer us for us to authenticate our experience in order for our interaction with others to be optimal. We're allowing ourselves to see the value in what we just went through, and because of that, we are no longer in a position of being held up to where we need to gain that perspective. There is no consequence for us not taking that opportunity because we have gone ahead and done the necessary work that is needed for us to lay those things to rest that cause us a bit of upset. And what that effort has done has broken down the stronghold of those beliefs and ideas so that we can move past what we allowed ourselves to maintain as reality and shift through that in order for us to see what is actually available to us. This is the part where we are kind of regrouping and cleaning up all of the more chaotic energy that has been before us previously, and then we are taking that and creating that movement from the process of it. So maybe there wasn't anything going on in our physical life that was showing evidence of the efforts that we were making within, so that it seemed as though nothing was happening and that it was creating stagnance, but that inner work that we did to shift our perspective is what created that blockage to be broken up for new things to come to us, for us to create movement in our life. So what is this Tower in regards to? No longer feeling as though we have been beaten by our circumstances. and also just since I'm seeing this on screen, not making the choices that we need to make in order to take the steps to move forward. However, we are gaining perspective that the previous defeat has served the purpose for the engagement of that forward progression. Anything else regarding the Tower? Oh, interesting. So, feeling as though our intentions and manifestations are not coming to us, even though with this specific Knight of Cups, this is a slow movement of the offering that the universe has, and maybe that slow progression was for us to practice having some faith and patience, because with it coming up in reverse, this is that we were not expecting this to ever come. But then we also have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So as we went ahead and saw things from that lens, we were stagnant ourselves in putting in the work to continue going and keeping ourselves in a sense of flow, because we didn't think what we wanted was going to come, which put us in a position where we needed to go inward and express those things that we had under the surface, the fears and resistance with the moon here. But then also we have the sun in reverse with the moon. So what that actually does, seeing life in that way, it takes away our innocent way of being and seeing the world as a magical, wonderful place, like we would in the eyes of a child. But with the energy still being on the table, it's when it's in reverse, it's, if you shift these things, the effort we had to make to go through all of this has given us the opportunity to gain some experience. It has allowed us to re-enter a concept where we do surrender and have faith that what we want will attract to us, and that resistance is what causes it to repel, and start to engage with the work that it does take us to navigate the darkness, so that we can call in that more airy and peaceful, harmonious, light-hearted experience that we wish to see fulfilled in our life. What about the Three of Swords here? Okay, so causing the pain is a disconnect from our sense of internal power, and being able or not being able to nurture ourselves as we go through the progression of resilience, and having a less stoic view of the way that we navigate our intuitive call. See, when we feel as though things are in our control, and okay, I have this idea, I have this calling, I have this sense of purpose and what I know is right for me, and then having to really separate that intuitive nature from the application that is programmed into us while we are raised in a society that is not taught to believe on how to attract and manifest things. So being able to turn inward and release that control, it gives us the opportunity to allow that connection that we have to our spiritual nature, the availability to manifest itself in the way that is going to be the most beneficial for us, without us needing to know how it will come. And then we know you still have the resilience there with the cat. We have sunflowers here. Sunflowers blossom in the dark, so they know that the sun will shine, and they know that it is a reflection. Sunflowers will face each other for sunlight, but the fact that they bloom in the dark it's like an anticipation that the sun will come, which goes along with that blind faith. And we also have the King of Pentacles in reverse. So not feeling connected to what you can control, which is that same ability to think of what you want, feel into how it would be to experience having that, and then waiting for it to come to you. This is not being able to view yourself as someone with that much potential, and feeling kind of lost in your physical experience without that control. So just being able to fully take what we know we want and what is seemingly right for us, and just allowing it to come into our space instead of forcing it to happen with our own application. Anything else regarding anything else for now? See, because there is a new beginning occurring now. So what are we moving toward with the Eight of Cups here? Seeing that the universe is going to bring to us our sense of personal victory, even if it hasn't occurred yet. Just having faith, like I said. So what are we moving away from with these? Okay, the fact that it landed there, I'm going to leave it there because it didn't make sense to me up here. So I'm just going to take it as how it went. Allowing ourselves to take a little bit of a step back as we wait patiently for the unfoldment, because with the Queen of Wands being a blockage here, or the perception of not being one, and then going back to the Page, this is an opportunity for us to see that our connection to spirit in whatever way that you interact with that personally is something that does work for you, and that you can set out in the world, even if you are in an area like a desert where it's devoid of the luscious greenery here in the physical. You know, while you wait and make those shifts, you can know that things are to come that you might not even understand yet, and that taking that step back allows us to gain the confidence that we need, that maybe we missed last time when we had the opportunity to expand as the Queen of Wands, and thus still continuing to make that progression, because it would go from the Page into the Knight, and to the Queen, and then to the King. So just feeling where you are right now and allowing that to progress on its own. And also, you know, his hat is white here, it has a red feather, so just allowing yourself to be devoid of your thought and your own opinion on that, and just like ground into the present moment anytime that you start to feel a little bit upset. So then now, what was the breach in movement before? Being in our heads, creating a negative experience from the thought field. Anything else? Not allowing ourselves to see that we are prosperous in the present moment, and how everything is offered before us, and not using or connecting to our sense of wisdom and balance in that, in what we've learned in the past, and allowing that to solidify our trust. Okay. What is it that we're developing to learn to offer here with the Six of Pentacles? Is that a 6? Yeah, sorry. What did I ask? What is it we're developing? Can I get a clarifier on that card? Okay. So even though it didn't fall out in this order, we have a 6 and then a 7. 7 came out in reverse. This is a card of harvesting our intention and being able to well, I guess in reverse more so, it's allowing ourselves to overcome any kind of apathy about the work that needs to be done to harvest this, and end up looking at it with a fondness. And but with the 6 and then the 7 and then a 5 of cups, it's like to be able to really solidify what is to come and be motivated to put the work in that we need to do to bring that before us, or kind of put it all together. We must take a step back and access the root of what caused the lack of motivation to begin with. And when you are able to just see the potential that you have and that life has to offer you, and how you can be an extension of giving that to other people, this card is very innocent. And innocence for me isn't so much about, sexuality or experience. It's about the way that you choose to continue to function regardless of your experience. So a lot of the time we can become jaded by our experiences or establish foundations of fear. But if we live innocently, we can look at the world as like a promising place that has much to offer to our benefit and not our detriment. It's kind of going at it as though nothing that you have experienced in the past is set in stone to reoccur in the future, and that it's all up for you to decide, and that just being content with what you have and what is right now can abolish that fear that we have regarding our future based on the reference of our past. Anything else before I move on to the other deck? Okay, it's time for us to release the battle that we have with ourselves and allow intuition and our connectedness to spirit to just win for a change. Put the wand down and maybe sit with all of these different obstacles for a bit. So this is the Oracle deck that is correspondent to the Ask Your Guides book by Sonia Choquette. This book is about the way that the universe communicates with you, how to receive kind of more symbolic messages and engagements with spirit beings that are around us and able to offer help and assistance as we pass through specific energies and experience. So we will ask who is with us now to help us in our path that we can access and engage with in order to have some guidance and clarity. We have devotion with the nature spirits. Anybody else? Creativity with the creativity guides. And community with spiritual ancestors. And purpose with the master teacher. These are all cards that have been coming up recently. I'm going to read from the book for further clarity. devotion with nature spirits, inspiration, contemplation, nature, and faith. The presence of God is everywhere, so if you feel disconnected from the divine, you're the one who left. Your nature spirits are beckoning you back to a place of awareness and that reconnects you to your source. Do not allow your mind to isolate you in fear or to get stuck dwelling on misery. Instead, go out and take in the natural world, which is a beautiful gift for you to enjoy. See the divine all around you. Focus on the beauty, power, holiness that nature affirms. Humbly surrender to this greatest of forces present in all things, including you. Your nature spirit's message to you is to breathe in the divine. You are in God and God is in you. So if that doesn't just say what I said already. Creativity with the creativity guides, patience, practice, reevaluation, and assessment. Your creativity guides are advising you that there's no way to avoid risk if you wish to live a creative life. Stop worrying about making the right or wrong choices and view all of them as creative opportunities. Be glad that you have the freedom to make choices at all, and realize that no matter what you choose, you'll create something. If you don't like the result, then simply go back to the drawing board and make new and hopefully better choices. Your creativity guides remind you that not to look at life in terms of black and white, me against you, all or nothing. The creative spirit, regardless of what else is going on in your life. You are a creative spirit, regardless of what is going on in your life. Assess your creations with appreciation and respect, whether good or bad, or indifferent. They all reflect your creativity. Celebrate everything you enjoy and don't fret over the rest. See your less desirable creations as interesting rough drafts and follow your creativity guide's advice to go back to the drawing board. Community with the spiritual ancestors, tribe, family, camaraderie, and kinship. Your spiritual ancestors are gathering around you at this time, holding you in their light and connecting you with your spiritual family here on earth. Your soul is now seeking the kind of love and support that comes from being part of the right community, your people, so to speak. Not wanting you to feel isolated in any way, your ancestors hear your soul's call and are presently guiding you toward kindred spirits. Understand and realize that you can't achieve your goals alone. Be open to support. You need the soul energizing support of your tribe. Give up any notions you have of going at it alone in life and develop the insight and wisdom to recognize your limitations. After all, even Christ picked 12 disciples for him to accomplish his mission here on earth. Follow your ancestors' directions. Follow your ancestors' directions. It is they who encourage you to join a club, enroll in a course, or sign up for a neighborhood basketball team. You never know who you'll meet. Your ancestors' message to you is to keep your heart open and feel your presence in your Keep your heart open and feel our presence in your life, and be open to your spiritual family here on earth as well. Purpose with the master teacher: consistency, dedication, reliability, and faithfulness. You're beginning to stride into your purpose. Work is no longer a struggle, and your master teacher is guiding you along the way. The more aligned you become with your life's proper path, the more your days will flow with ease. You'll lose track of all barriers as you go with the flow and throw your heart and soul into your efforts. Your dedication will pay off in the long run, but even this isn't important. Your efforts are their own reward. Doing what you love so well and so faithfully fulfills you. Your challenge is to resist the temptation to push yourself to exhaustion. Remain measured and steady. Don't overlook the importance of taking a day to rest at least once a week. Your master teacher is pleased with your progress, but reminds you that even though you may love your work and feel that you could work forever, your body and mind do get fatigued. Develop the wisdom to know when to step away and refresh your soul. Your master teacher's message to you is to pace yourself. So I feel as though we're obviously shifting towards something positive, and we are allowing ourselves to kind of fall into that position without a pre-notion of how things should go and how things must be. And what? I reckon the cats with the resilience and the 9 lives and the creative and playful, or curious and playful nature, they have the ability to, or at least I've read once, that they have the ability to see the etheric field, and what they do with their purring is they change the vibration of the area around them. So just allowing us to do that by engaging in the present moment with ourselves and what we're feeling, and being able to connect in that way for ourselves, with ourselves, in whatever way that makes sense to you specifically. I hope that you have a good week, and that whatever endeavor you are embarking on will service you for the highest good, and any of the challenges that come up in between also serve you the same. Thank you so much. See you next week.